Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Let me read my little intro here. Welcome to Iron Sharpens Iron Council, a ministry dedicated to uplift humanity. I will learn that by heart. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing. So I wanted to introduce you guys to a special brother, my brother from another mother. And he's also on the executive board of Iron Sharpens Iron and IMPMA. And hit it, I'll let you introduce yourself. We're recording.
Well, my name is Jaime, and
Okay. That's fine. That's just we're just gonna go with Jaime. So I just hit you with the three standard questions that I pose to everyone, which are, what got you started studying? Was there any particular incident that got you started in studying about law and private, rights and standing up for yourself? Was there any particular thing that stands out, or what got you interested? What was your introduction to studying and researching law?
well, I don't know. I guess it was from listening to Santos Bonacci, and he's, I was watching him for some other things, but
oh, okay.
About law also. So he started talking about some things, so I started researching what he was talking about. And, I started learning. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know it was like this, or we're told that we're supposed to get a license and we're supposed to do this and we're supposed to do all these things that aren't really need to be done like by law. So I started researching into it a little bit here and there, but then when we started getting flooded with all these videos of melanated people getting shot and killed by the cops and things like that, I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, if this is how it's gonna be, I guess I gotta learn some things to see what's going on. So I started to take a real. I mean, I never really liked the cops to begin with, you know what I mean? It's just, I just thought that, they're out doing what they're supposed to do, you know what I mean? And so, not always doing what they're supposed to do, but that's just what cops were, you know what I mean? There was somebody to give you a hard time, I just thought that was how it was, you know what I mean? So, but then, learn to find out that they can't do half the things they do and say, and they're not even doing their job. Well, they are doing their job protecting the corporation assets, but it had nothing to do with me particularly. You know what I mean? Because I'm not
on it through a few videos here on YouTube, and then you dove in deeper and deeper, and your knowledge base grew, and you continued to evolve.
Well, yeah, I mean, and then I had a situation with this PA state troopers where they tased me and did a bunch of things when I was very new in the game, and I thought I was out there, trying to educate them, which I was, because I mean, nothing I said to them was a lie, but I did a couple things wrong because this was probably 5-6 years ago, so I was still real new into things, and so I got out there running my mouth, and then.
Wait, you got out the car? You got out of your car?
Yeah, I was.
Okay,
I got out of my car talking trash to the cop, telling them to hurry up, got back in, got out.
Wow.
And I was sitting on the side of the road talking trash to them for an hour or more, and then it just was, and then I was going back and forth to my car. Like, they didn't think I was a threat because they were letting me go to my car, go to the window, talking to my wife, coming back, sitting on the curb, talking to them about why I wasn't cooperating, and they were disputing with me about why I didn't agree with their authority, and I was like, you don't have any authority. I was like, I was just wilding out on them, and I was being a little belligerent, like I was calling them a dog, and
oh no, you were being a lot belligerent.
I was like, yeah. So anyway, after that, I was like, all right, well, that didn't turn out the way I wanted to turn out. So I got to start studying some more and seeing more on what's really going on and how to really deal with these policy enforcers. And then I had a situation with the IRS, which made me start digging into that. aspect of things. And so, you know, and right now I'm dealing with a situation with my job where they're trying to force me to sign some paperwork so they can take state and federal taxes out of my paycheck. And so, you know, I'm dealing with that right now. But you know, it's they do what they want anyway. So, and that's the hardest part. Like, you can be right, but these people are going to do what they want to do anyway. Like this, I don't care what all these people talk about, changing your status and all that. You get the wrong cop on the wrong day, you know, you might be able to do something after the fact. Like once you're locked up and get released, and then you can file all your paperwork. But in that moment, it don't matter what you know or what you say or what paperwork you got filed. You're probably still going to go to jail if the cop, you know, doesn't know anything. So he's going to do what he thinks he's supposed to do. So, you know, I remember I was watching or reading somebody's comment one time, and they were like, look, man, all that stuff doesn't work. You just got to learn to take your licks and deal with them after the fact. So, fortunately, that's where we are, because, again, my belief is that all these people doing all these processes and all this paperwork, only giving fiction life, and you're giving authority to people who don't have any authority. So, of course, they're going to run with it, especially when the masses of people are either just bowing down, or you got all these people trying to do all these processes and they're still begging for their permission to do things, because that's what sending affidavits are. And notice, you're like, hey, well, here's an affidavit, or here's this form, so do you accept it? And they say no, or they don't listen to it, or they ignore it. So I mean, who's got the power still? They still have the power, because then if your writ is ignored, or your affidavits are ignored, or your motions, or all these things that don't even deal with people because they don't clear the fact that they're not U.S. statutory citizens, they still don't, you know. So you got people doing all these statuses and they don't work, and they don't have to listen to them if they want to. They don't want to. You can go into court and speak correctly. They can still lock you up. You can still have all your paperwork. They can still lock you up. I mean, and by people doing this, they're still going to do it. If people just didn't consent and didn't go with the fraud, then, you know, what could they do about it? But as long as the masses still go along, and you got all these people in this realm of things still doing all these processes, still giving them power over them, then we're going to be where we are, and that's where we are.
The good news is more people are waking up to the fraud, and so that's going to help us as a you know, oppressed people. Because the more people that become successful and, you know, awake and submit their paperwork on their strength and on their power, not rights, there's a difference, then I think that's how the system is going to change. But you can't just, you know, give up and say, oh, it's a hopeless situation and that's how it is. We have to continue to press on and submit, you know, our written, you know, vessels, and submit them on the stance that power comes from you. You are power-based. And you just continue. I always say, there was a website that I came across that said, sue wrongdoers. I think it's suewrongdoers.com, but that's so apropos for the position that they place us in. They don't stop. So why should you? You have to continue to sue. Even if you have to continue going all the way to the top, you have to let them know that you are messing with the wrong one. They are messing with the wrong one. And, you know, I've been getting a lot of remedy by going the peaceful warrior. I know it sounds like an oxymoron and a contradiction, but I'm not coming in a position that I'm you know, belligerent and I'm, you know, carrying on with all my rights. Belligerents have rights, but men and women have power and authority. So I stand on my power and I stand on my authority, and I don't budge, and they budge. So I'm starting to see a little bit of a change. And if a lot more people do that, eventually we take back our land. Remember, this is a country where, in a lot of other places where, you know, slavery was legal until the masses woke up. Well, that's what we have, a hidden system of slavery until we awaken more people. So I do believe the change is coming. I see a lot of changes have already started to take place. And I think that we're right around the corner from the tide shifting in our favor, but it's just that, you know, we have a due responsibility to try to reach out to, you know, other brothers and sisters. Like I was talking to a friend today. I hadn't talked to her in a long time, about 2 years, and, you know, just, you know, shooting the breeze and just kind of catching up. And I mentioned a little, you know, just kind of test. It just came up because it's just innate in me now. I just know who I am. I know that the power and authority comes from me. And I'm dealing, you know, in the outside world, I'm just dealing with nothing but fiction, right? So, you know, this friend of mine, she has zero clue in terms of the private side, the power and all of that, and who you are and your correct status and the correct relationship, you know, with the outside world. And she just said, "Oh no, that sounds crazy," and I just kind of backed off. But I'll continue to press on, slowly but surely, dropping nuggets here and there. But you know, for those who are awake, we have that duty and responsibility to share the knowledge, because that's the only way that we're going to make change happen. That's just my position.
Well, so you know, that's the reason why slavery ended was sadly not because people woke up. It was business why they did what they did, and it was to turn everyone into a statutory slave to the U.S. corporation. Unfortunately, that's the dream that they push. Like, oh, you know, all these white folks wanted to free colored people. It had nothing to do with anything to that. That war was mostly to kill off intelligence of the country who was trying to fight against a monarchy, a corporation that these people were doing. It wasn't to free slaves, because emancipation only means to change hands, to change owners. So when Lincoln emancipated colored folks, all he did was change the ownership of the slaves. So, you know, that's it.
Right.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but like that's
slavery.
Is people, it's like, this is my thing, is that that all this is planned and everything's going exactly the way they wanted to go. And no, they're not going to sit there one day and say, you know, well, you know, in a couple thousand years that we've been planning this, but you guys are saying all this brilliant stuff now and doing all this paperwork that we invented. This is all from their system still, all this remedy and all this paperwork is all from them, which my source, my creator, did not hand me any paperwork and say that anyone has authority over me to compel me to rebut a fiction. A fiction is a fiction. That means it doesn't.
So that's what you would do. Okay, so that's what you would do now. You not rebut the fiction, and you don't want to interact with them.
I mean, why should I interact with them? I mean, I never signed away.
Engage with them. Final question. Where do you see yourself?
I don't know.
Where do you see yourself?
The video's breaking up. Like you're like you're glitching. It's like I don't know if I am too on your side. But
no, my internet connection just kind of was disrupted and then it came back. Is the picture clear now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it just came up. I got the warning signal right there, and then and that disconnection, and now it came back. Sorry about that. I don't know. It's a random glitch. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
You might want to restart your router or something. Your wireless modem. Try restarting your modem. See if that clears up after the call.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years, going the route that you're going, and on the path? You know, for me, the path of least resistance is to submit my paperwork, but with my flag, and I notice them. I do not act, I do not motion, I notice them. That's it. So where do you see yourself in 5 years, and what would you do differently than you that you have done before to what you would do now that your knowledge has grown? And then we can wrap up.
Well, so that's not really like my philosophy is I just kind of take things as they come, you know what I mean? I'm not a big planner ahead, you know what I mean? So I just go with the flow of where my inner self tells me to go, you know what I mean? So, I mean, my goal is to learn more so that I can actually educate my son, not myself. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I'm halfway through my life probably, so I mean, he's just coming into his. So I have to make sure that I create a world and an environment, or at least a local environment, that he knows who he is and what he is and how to stand on his own from a young age, so that he'll be much further ahead than me when he reaches my age. So my goal is to educate myself more so that I can educate him properly, and so that he can live a better life, a freer life than what I live. But like I was saying earlier, it takes just more than me doing that. Like I can make it so we can navigate around the system somewhat safely, but my true goal would be to free everyone. But
Yeah.
because the more people who are free, the freer I am. So my goal is to help other people free themselves, so that in turn I could be free. Just like self-love is, you know, this whole thing, you must have self-love. Well, if you love yourself but you love no one else, it doesn't make a difference. Self-love is actually loving other people because they are you too. And if you love them, then you love yourself. So therefore, it is self-love to enlighten and help other people discover who they are. And that's true self-love. But you know, we live in a world of
hate,
imbeciles, and ignorance, and slavery. That's a choice, because to me, I agree with Kanye when he says slavery is a choice, because people have a choice to read, they have a choice to study, they have a choice to stop watching TV and following celebrities and all this nonsense that goes on today, worrying about sports, about who's got more points and who's playing for who, and it's all this gibberish that, I mean, I was in it at one point in time. I mean, before, I mean, I always knew something was wrong with the world and things weren't right, but I just never knew where to look, and the internet was a new thing. And if, you know, so once I started really learning the web and surfing the web and reading and studying things and seeing things that most people don't hear about because they don't research anything, and just started opening my mind a little more. And then I got into law only because I was being affected by the law. Like, my goal would not even be to know any of this law, because to me, what law? I didn't agree to these laws or these definitions. So, you know.
The moral of the story is strength in numbers, and we definitely need the numbers to grow so that we can all be free and protected and safe as we move about, as we travel. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Definitely agree. All right, well, real quick, let's chat it up, because I don't want to have a long extended video. We could record another one right after this. So, thank you for joining me, joining all of us. Jamie, did you want to have any final words before I sign us off?
Nope. I hope everyone's safe, and you know, good luck.
Good luck with everything.
Yep.
Okay, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, be safe, everybody. Peace, bliss, and positive vibes only. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. I'll stop recording.